I just jumped into the aisle and just started crying.
How far was he standing from you?
About 4 or 5 feet.
There was this one guy who was on all fours crawling. There was this girl spitting up blood. There were bullet holes in some people's backs, some people's arms. There was this one guy who was stripped down to like just his boxers. It looked like he had been like shot like in the back or something. It was crazy.
I say we were about 15 minutes in, and there was a chase scene where there was gunfire on screen. And right then, out of nowhere, on the right side of us, we just heard a very distinct pop, 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 pop. And, my wife jumped, and I kind of sat there and was like, oh, it's probably just really good special effects, sound effects. And my wife said, no, that's really distinct.
She said that a man about 6 feet tall, taller than her, kicked through the door. And he was in, she said, a riot helmet. She said had a bulletproof vest on. She said that he was completely covered in all black with goggles. And she said that after that point, when she saw that he was holding a shotgun, her and her boyfriend dropped to the floor and just kind of started to crawl to see if they could get away. They got up and they started to run through the emergency exit. She said that when she turned around, all she saw was the guy slowly making his way up the stairs and just firing people, just picking random people.
As they were leaving, he witnessed a baby, an infant, get shot. But yeah, they said gas bombs as they were leaving, and then just gunshots all over the place.
He did not resist. He did not put up a fight. I don't know if the exact details of the officers surprised him or how it actually happened, but I know some of the first officers that, arrived within, I don't know if it was seconds, maximum a couple minutes, found him behind the theater at his car and took him into custody there.
Absolute terror inside that movie theater. New York police officials are ordering extra security for showings of the new Batman movie, and Warner Brothers studio executives have canceled the Paris premiere of the film. Corinne Winter with Showbiz Tonight joining us now live with how Hollywood is reacting to all this. And I mean, people were looking forward to this opening more so than any other movie, Corinne, in recent times. And for this to happen, my goodness.
It's really unimaginable, and you nailed it. This was supposed to be a summer movie escape. It's turned into such a tragedy. Batman fans across the country, they've been eagerly awaiting the opening of The Dark Knight Rises. There were fans lining up for midnight screenings to be among the first to see this highly anticipated movie. And Vinny, to give you a sense of how many fans were anxious to see The Dark Knight Rises, while advance ticket sales totaled more than $25 million. Analysts, they were predicting the film would be the biggest opening ever for a 2D movie. You can see all the excitement there as fans were lining up. Obviously now the focus, it's not on the hype surrounding this expected summer blockbuster. It's on the tragedy out of Colorado. CNN just received earlier this morning the following statement from Warner Brothers, which is, by the way, part of CNN's parent company, Time Warner. In regards to the shooting, Warner Brothers and the filmmakers are deeply saddened to learn about this shocking incident. We extend our sincere sympathies to the families and loved ones of the victims at this tragic time. Additionally, CNN confirms the studio has canceled the Paris premiere and press interviews scheduled for tonight. We were just told, actually, by a rep for the studio that a majority of the cast was in Paris for tonight's big premiere, what was supposed to be a star-studded affair. The CEO of the Motion Picture Association of America has also released a statement saying, "We share the shock and sadness of everyone in the motion picture community at the news of this terrible event. We extend our prayers and deepest sympathies to the victims, their loved ones, and all those affected by this tragedy." Now, some questions have been raised about the violence in The Dark Knight Rises. I haven't screened it yet, but based on the clips, the trailers that I've seen, this is an action movie. There are explosions in it that at times could have lent to the confusion in the theater. Obviously, we don't know what was going through the person who committed these terrible acts, so we can't say that there was a direct connection there between the themes of the movie and what played out, Vinny.
Corinne Winter, thank you so much. Let's go out now to Colorado. Ed Lavendera joins us live from the scene. Ed, what's the latest?
Hi, Benny. Well, we just arrived here in Aurora, Colorado, and trying to get a handle on the situation here. But we want to get right to Darius Harvey, who was in the theater where the shooting took place last night. You haven't slept all night. Let me just go back to the beginning. You walk into the movie theater with friends. You're expecting a fun night. and then this tragedy happens. What do you remember from the moment it all started?
I remember everything from, we were just watching the movie and everything was all quiet and it looked like there was something thrown across the room. Didn't know what it was at first. And in the bottom right, I saw flashes of light followed by loud noises. I'm thinking someone's just playing around in his firecrackers. But come to the seriousness, I felt the pepper in my throat and everything, and then I realized that it was gunfire. I heard get down, and all types of stuff. From there, all I did was...
Did the room fill up with smoke or anything?
No, you couldn't see anything. Like, you couldn't see the pepper spray that was in your throat. You just felt it.
Gotcha.
And then from there, I just tried to help the girls that I was with get out and try to get to safety as fast as possible.
For the moment you saw that canister flying across the room, did the gunfire erupt immediately?
It took about 2 seconds after, but I didn't realize it until after about 5 shots.
And how many shots did you hear?
I've heard about 15 to 20.
And it must have been absolutely horrifying in that room.
I didn't have any time to have any feeling. I just reacted.
Did you jump down on the ground, or?
That was my instant reaction, and I helped the people get next to me on the ground too. And then from there, we laid down for a few seconds, and I said, we have to get out of here, and I helped them across the seat, and we went out the back exit.
You're almost in the very back of the theater, up at the very top, correct?
Yes, sir.
Did he say anything? Did you hear him
I
scream?
was told that he said something about a bomb or something. I don't really know the exact details of it. Otherwise, I didn't hear anything besides the gunfire.
And then, from what we understand, he had various different types of weapons. Did you see him change weapons? Did you sound different at any point?
At first, all I saw was a gas mask, and then I heard the fires, which sounded like a 9mm or something. And then from there, I heard the pump action of the shotgun. And then from there, I just tried to get out as fast as possible.
I asked you a little while ago, do you remember looking at him, seeing him?
I just remember seeing the gas mask and that he was wearing all black. Long sleeve.
Could you tell if he was wearing like bulletproof vests? Or?
It looked like he did, but I don't know for sure.
And as far as you know, it wasn't like he walked into the theater with you guys?
No, I was told by some of my friends that were in the front that he came out of the exit that is right next to the theater.
Next to the screen?
Yes.
Gotcha. So he walked in there?
Yes, and then through the canisters and then began his range.
Did you get a sense that was he sneaking into the building that way? You don't think he could have
There's
come
no
in?
way he could have came in through the way that we came with all the people and security and all the guns that he had on him. There's no way he would have got that far into the theater, so he had to come from that exit.
Very good. Well, Darius, I'm glad you're safe. I'm glad most of your friends are okay. I appreciate you sharing that with us. Vinny, we spoke with a friend of Darius also who was in the theater right next door watching the same movie as well. It was playing on various screens inside the movie theater. And what was stunning by what his friend just told me a little while ago is that bullets actually flew through the wall and injured various people in that theater next door to where the Batman movie was playing. Also, that other theater was also playing the Batman movie. But it happened at the point in the movie where it was a gunfire shootout scene during the movie, so that people inside that theater couldn't tell if those sounds were coming from that scene in the movie or if it was actually the shooting that was taking place in the theater room right next door to them. Benny?
Ed Lavendero live out in Aurora, Colorado. Thanks so much, Ed. Appreciate it. 12 killed, 38 injured, but 24-year-old James Holmes is in custody now. The alleged gunman. Our continuing coverage here on Morning Express.